The cavalry has arrived.
And we are here in Lumoria C. I'm Matthew Dratt. If you do not know this, I'm the cinematic director for Lumoria. And I'm going to talk about that cutscene in B.
Right on.
That was just, if you didn't see it, go back to B, watch a stupid video of the cutscene. Blah blah blah. If you're at C, I'm gonna assume that you've watched B and A. But what was originally gonna happen because this was always a switch between these two maps. What was gonna happen was in the cinematic, May was gonna go and pick up. In the script, it was May looks down at her AR in assault rifle in fear or whatever. She looks down at it in strength, like, yeah, I'm May. I have an assault rifle. But then when C loaded, you had a plasma rifle, and I was always kind of confused, and I was told to create the ending of the cinematic where May picks up a plasma rifle. So I kind of was just like, okay, great. Now I have to create an animation for May picking up a plasma rifle somewhere. I was just like, I was so confused. And then I was like, throw a dead elite body somewhere and have May go over there and pick that up. I was like, can we just do this an easier way where you just start with an AR and then you can pick up the plasma rifle? And that's what ended up happening because I was not going to spend all that time creating an animation just so she could pick up a stupid plasma rifle because someone wanted a plasma rifle to start in cinema in Lumoria C.
Come get some. Let's dance, guys. Come on.
I really don't know what to talk about here. So I'm going to talk more about myself since I'm very self-centered. This was a map where I did not get this map until it was pretty much finished. Like, there were things changed from the time that I got this originally to now. But I mean, like 95%, 98% of this is pretty much exactly how I got it the first time. So I'm pretty much a first time player in this. And I'm not trying, like, I wouldn't just do this commentary if I was just playing the game just to be like a game commentator. I'm only doing this so I can talk about the cinematics and how great I am. And so, since there's no cinematics to talk about, I might as well talk about how great I am. I am Matthew Dratt. I joined the Halo Custom Edition forum in May 2008, I believe. You can look in the Halo Maps forum. I said Halo Custom Edition, I meant Halo Maps, but and I joined up as, I think it was Mega Halo Fan, and then some random numbers that I can't remember. It was so stupid. And then eventually, once I kind of got out of my really newbie phase, I switched my main username to Matt Dratt. And that was my main username for a while. And that was my early kind of phase of Halo CE when I created Test Map 2009, which is the original takedown map in Danger Canyon, which is, playing it now, I honestly don't think it's too bad. Like, I see it's not the greatest map ever. I wouldn't praise it or be happy with releasing it now. But no, I think as a early map. It's not too bad, actually. And then I switched my name over to Matthew Drat, and I added the Matthew because in real life, I'm Matthew. No one calls me Matt besides some teacher who's really arrogant and won't call me Matthew. It's just like Mathew, Matthew. So everyone on Xfire, like, I always wanted people to call me Drat online, but since my username was Matt Drat, Matt is shorter, so everyone would just call me Matt because it was shorter. And so it's like, no one calls me Matt. And so I get online and everyone's like, hey, Matt, instead of Matthew. Where I wanted it to be, hey, Drat, you know? Matt Drat, you know? Drat was kind of my online name. So I kind of expected everyone to call me Drat. And so when people didn't, after a while I just kind of was like, no. So I made the final switch over to Matthew Drat in hopes that people would start calling me either Matthew or Drat, and I say it worked out well. I always laugh when people call me Mr. Drat, and like they think Drat's my last name. It isn't, but you're still calling me Drat, so whatever. It works. I've already explained how I got into TN and stuff, and I can save all my talk about takedown for my takedown commentary whenever that comes out. So I'm gonna switch back to Lumoria, because this is when it really starts getting epic because of the tank. Yeah. I mean, anyone who played this their first time and they were not like, oh my god, then they're lying, because this has to be the most epic thing in custom mission history, single player wise.
Show you how a Spartan drives a tank.
It's like, yeah, it's like the Halo 2 tank and it takes forever, but it's really epic. Like, once you get into the canyon, it's... I was extremely shocked the first time I played this. Let's just say that. Total war indeed. And when I first got this, when I first got this, Lumoria D, there was no such thing. C and D were actually together as one map. And we actually had to split the maps because I could not do my cinematics, I think was the original reason. I think there were some other reasons too, but we essentially ran out of tag space completely and just essentially just needed to get rid of an entire section, which we eventually ended up doing. And we put that in D. It always shocks me how people say the Marines are super easy and they die. You cannot kill these Marines. If you did not know that, well then, the more you know. but you cannot kill these Marines. And so whenever people are like, the Marines are really easy to die, it's just like, maybe in some of the other part of the maps, but here it's silly to say that because they can't die. This is the part of the map where pretty much air, land. I mean, if there were boats in Halo Custom Edition, I'm sure High Guy and Lodix would have found a way to get water into this. You can go on foot, you can go in a Warthog, you can go in a tank, or you can go in a Banshee. You can...
Nice. This is what I joined up for. Move up, Marines.
This is really obviously everyone's first time they played the tank, and there's a Warthog and a Banshee behind there. And I was gonna try to figure it out, like using scripts on what vehicle did you use. That way in the cinematic, you'll see a tank no matter what vehicle you choose, only for a brief second, but still. I thought it'd been cool if you like saw a Banshee there or something. And there was an exception here, which from the sound file of the max firing, which you heard right there, that caused an exception, and it got fixed within like the last 2 weeks or something from Lodix. Like, we found a way to fix it. It's just it didn't always cause an exception. It only did if you had the updated OGG and DLLs and stuff, whatever. If you had the updated DLLs, then your game would crash, which is why the original DLLs are included with the download of the maps, and that's only for caution. I have the updated DLLs right now, and everything's working fine. So honestly, I think there's too much emphasis on the install the original DLLs for Lumoria, because you don't need to anymore. If you get an exception, then it's a really minor exception, and just load the map again. It shouldn't happen ever again.
Oh, hell yeah. Now that's what I like to see.
Music. I always despise music at loops. There is no tank there. I always was bugging to have this music fade out, but nope.
What do you think it happens? Not sure, but I have a...
I really like these animations. I don't know why. I'm proud of myself for these animations. And then the screen blur when May like freaks out. Like, yeah, see the screen blur right here. I'm not sure how you can see it on YouTube, but in game it's pretty obvious. And I don't know. I really liked how I did that. Originally there was gonna be like some beam thing, and it like hit May. So the screen is gonna go like blue, like a grapevine thing.
You're not feeling this?
I still kind of use the blur as like the grapevine thing, but
It must be your neural implants.
just kind of a blur instead of
They're allowing
blue.
the AI access directly to your mind.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Maybe.
maybe.
Let's just finish this.
I still like that animation. I still love this cutscene. I don't know why. I really don't know why I like that cutscene so much, but it's my favorite in the entire Lumoria series that I've ever worked on. It's honestly probably one of my favorite cutscenes I've ever worked on. And I don't know why. I think it's just because the animation on May I really like, and then the screen effect, because that's the first time I've ever got to use a screen effect in a cinematic. So I'm really happy about that. And let's see. I'll see you in D.